I swear that's greatness, greatness, greatness. You look into my eyes, you can see what I see. If you can say the world won't be the same without me, then we call that greatness. And that's a blessing. But wait a second. Look, while we on the subject, let me ask a question.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Uzzi Sports Show. I'm Jared Valluzzi with today's guest, Jaden Sinclair, a defensive back and wide receiver at Holy Trinity High School. Jaden, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Jaden, last season for Holy Trinity, it was more of a younger team, actually.
Yeah.
But you did have a great season, so how did the youth really affect you into your success?
I think us having a young team, it made me and the older guys have to step up a little bit more and hold everybody accountable to the standard that we set at Holy Trinity.
Yeah, and of course, last season you had a great offensive year. So what was really the key to that offensive explosion?
I think the coaching staff and just all the work that we put in the off season, in the weight room, strength and conditioning, I think all that plays a big factor.
Yeah, and last year you guys did start off with a couple losses, but you had a couple wins throughout the year, especially towards the end. So what was really the key to just getting through those obstacles and adversity?
I think the coaching staff, as much as it was us as well, I think the coaching staff, they made it clear to us that if we didn't quit on ourselves, they wouldn't quit on us. And everybody kind of kept that in mind every day, despite all the losses, just coming in, continuing to work and get better.
And also, Jaden, when it comes to getting through that adversity, you guys did end up getting a playoff win over Zavarian. So, just take me through that huge victory.
It was just a different atmosphere. Like, we came in, it's actually a funny story. The bus driver got lost, so we only had 30 minutes or so to warm up. So when we got there, we were rushing and stuff, but we were ready to play, game ready, and we just went out there and got the win, played together as a team.
Yeah, and for you individually, you had a really big game against Zavarian in the playoffs. So, coming up big individually in a big-time game, what was it like?
It was amazing. I think all the hard work we put in up until that point, we just displayed that on the field. The offensive line, they were blocking. Everybody was just executing their job and responsibility. I just did what I do.
Yeah, and defensively in that game, because I believe you held Zavarian to just 7 points or something like that.
Yeah.
So, what was really the key on the defensive side of the ball?
Just trusting the coaching staff and the game plan that we put forth. Just repped it all week in practice and just executed it on game day.
And Jaden, one big thing I've noticed about you during this offseason has been working out. It feels like it's been nonstop for you. So really, when it comes to work ethic, what does that really mean to you?
I think it means everything to me. I think my work ethic separates me from a lot of other people. I just want it more than most people.
Yeah, and during this quarantine, what has it really been like, your everyday activity or your routine?
I work out 5 to 6 times a week. I'm actually lucky to have dumbbells at home, so I'm able to do a couple of different things with that. Chest workouts, bicep workouts, tricep workouts, a lot of different stuff with it.
And also, it seems like you've been getting a lot bigger this offseason, so how has really the strength and athleticism really coming together for you?
I think it's coming together quite well, actually. I was able to put on 15 pounds this season of muscle, and I'm actually 0% body fat. Just found that out the other day, so I think it's coming along well.
And Jaden, you mentioned that you've been working extremely hard, so what has really the recruiting process been like so far for yourself?
It's been pretty good so far. I currently hold 2 Division III offers, one from Alvernia, one from Allegheny, and I've had interest from D1 schools and D2 schools as well.
Yeah, and either if you play wide receiver or defensive back at the next level, we'll take a look at the defensive side of the ball. What in your game really separates yourself as a DB?
I think being patient with the receiver, whether patient at the line or just patient at the top of his route, because receivers nowadays, they like to give you a couple of different moves at the line, and everybody's more creative, more crafty with their moves. So I think just being patient, being able to stay with them.
Yeah, and also at Holy Trinity, you mentioned the coaching staff throughout this interview. And at Trinity, the coaching staff historically has been great. So what has it really been like playing under them?
It's been amazing, honestly. We have a great coaching staff. Just their dedication and commitment to us as a student and as kids on and off the field. It's just amazing. It's a great coaching staff to be under.
Yeah, and what's it been like with them this offseason?
It's been good. They've been reaching out to us, making sure we're okay, checking up on us. And we actually get together sometimes in individual position groups and get a little work in.
And obviously, Jaden, this is going to be your senior year, your biggest year of high school football. So you play wide receiver, you play defensive back, but how big is leadership going into next season?
I think leadership is a big deal going into next season. As a senior, I'm expected to step up more, look out for the younger guys, and make sure they're up to speed with everything.
And another two big things for you is classroom and character. How important are those to you?
Those two things are really important to me. Our coach preaches not only to be a good football player, but be a good person and be a good student in the classroom, and I firmly believe in those two.
And going into the 2020 season, Jaden, what are some of the individual expectations you may have?
Just having a dominant offensive and defensive season. I think all the off-season work, all the off-season training is going to finally come together in my senior season and just ball out.
Yeah, and for a team as a whole going into next season, what do you think you guys could do a little bit differently to get some more W's?
I think we have all the pieces. I think we just need to put it together and just mesh as a team.
Yeah, and you mentioned those pieces. One of them is actually Elijah Tobin, one of the best offensive linemen in the state. So, how's the O-line really looking into next season?
I think the O-line's looking pretty good. We have John Morales, who's returning as well. And, of course, as you mentioned, we have Elijah. And we have a couple young guys who are going to have to step up, but I'm confident that they will.
And you mentioned all those returning pieces really just having to come together, but they all are back. So what's the returning talent really looking like?
The returning talent's looking good. We have Amelia Ramirez coming back at quarterback, Cam Robbins returning, and Jared Weekly returning as well.
Yeah, you mentioned Jared Weekly. He's a receiver, and of course you play wide receiver as well. I mean, Weekly, an absolute monster, and you're one of the best route runners on Long Island. So, how do you think that duo is really going to do next season?
That's a duo to look out for. I think we're going to give a lot of coaching staffs headaches and keep them up at night.
Now, Jaden, we look ahead to your 2020 schedule, and what's one game you're really looking forward to and why?
The game I would say I'm looking forward to the most is St. John's, strictly for the matchup of going against their number one receiver, Christian Mizell.
Yeah, you mentioned that matchup with Mizell. I mean, he's one of the best wide receivers on Long Island, and you're one of the best defensive backs on Long Island. So going into that matchup, what's really the mindset for you?
The mindset is just to lock him down and just take him out the game completely.
Yeah, I mean, you did match up with him last season, but what are you really looking forward to doing differently this year?
I think I'm a more well-rounded defensive back and more put together. As we said earlier, I put on 15 pounds, so I think all that is going to help me out in the matchup.
Now, Jaden, this is also one question I absolutely love asking. If there's one game that you could schedule against any team in New York, absolutely anybody, who would it be and why?
I would have to go with Freeport just due to the fact that they haven't lost in 2 years. I think we would be able to give them their first L.
Well, Jaden, thank you so much for your time. Everybody, I hope you guys liked the video. Please like and comment and follow me on Twitter. I'm Jared Valluzzi. Thanks for watching.